Hi, this is Tom Murphy from Pro Audio and Lighting, and this could be you. If you do uplighting, you've probably been familiar with this scene where you have to do something with all of those cables. If you're running DMX cables and power cables, you have to hide them along the wall, which could mean you're spending a lot of money unnecessarily in gaff tape as well. Well, now it's time for us to show you something better. And now, through the magic of technology, we're going to explain to you the future of uplighting and how the freedom pars and freedom strips from Chauvet are going to drastically affect both the decor and DJ industry and everyone that handles uplighting for different events. Right now, we've taken the traditional uplighting setup of running your LED pars with your DMX cables and your power cables, and we've taken advantage of the Freedom Par's main feature, which is having the wireless onboard DMX. Now what that does is that allows us to control both the Freedom Pars and the Freedom Strips without having to run all of the control cables to them. So not only are these fixtures battery powered, but they also have wireless DMX transmitting and receiving capabilities on board to let you run them totally cable free. The setup that we have here right now is we're running the Obey 3. We have the clear version of this. The Obey 3 is the most popular controller on the market right now for controlling basic LED pars for uplighting. We're also running this with the DFI transmitter from Chauvet. This is the new 2.4 gigahertz model that is designed to work with the current Freedom Pars and Freedom Strips. So what we have set up now is we have our control signal cable coming out of our controller here, as you can see, and it's running into the DMX input on our transmitter. And that's where the wiring stops. From this point on, all of our pars in the chain, as you can see, have no cables plugged into them at all. But when I take and change the values on our controller, you can see that our lights are working in conjunction with what I'm doing on the controller, completely wireless. So what does this mean? Well, this means that you're going to save hundreds of dollars in gaffer's tape. This means that you have the ability to not only control your wireless Freedom Pars without any additional wiring and additional trouble, but it's going to make your events look a lot nicer and a lot cleaner too, which makes your clients very happy. Alright, so just to recap again, one of the big advantages to the Freedom Pars and the Freedom Strips is they have the built-in wireless DMX capabilities already on board, which means you do not have to buy separate receivers for each one of your fixtures so that you can run them wirelessly. Okay? And again, we're running this system that we have with a few of the Freedom Pars and Freedom Strips set up here in front of me off of the Obey 3 Clear controller. Now, some may say, why did you pick the clear controller? Well, I wanted to show you that when I pick red on my lights, the controller lights up red. When I pick green, it lights up green. When I pick blue, it lights up blue. Another cool feature about the clear version of this controller and using it with the Freedom Pars is if you're a permanent installation venue and you have your controller tucked away somewhere, maybe in a closet or in a different room, it's very easy for you to look at your controller and say, okay, my lighting here shows purple on my controller, then that means when you walk out in your room, your lighting's going to actually match what your controller is doing. So it gives you a nice visual reference there so that you can see exactly what your lights are doing. Okay, so we're running them wirelessly, all of these running without wires, using the DFI 2.4 gigahertz transmitter hooked up to the Obey 3 CL. So now that we've done this, we're going to show you something super cool. And now we're going to step things up here just a bit. We've gotten out a Chauvet Obey 40 controller now to run our uplights. We're still using our wireless transmitter. We're still running all of our lights in wireless mode. And now the same features that we had with the Obey 3, we now have with the Obey 40, plus some additional features. So I can still control the color values of my fixtures. I also now have the ability to program in scenes into our scene select button and to program in chases so you can add a little bit more pizzazz, some color changing, and some other unique effects to your uplighting. There's also another advantage to running it with a more sophisticated controller like the Obey 40, and that allows you to individually select colors on all of your fixtures, not just making them run as a group. So if you have a client that's wanting your uplighting to be done with multiple colors, or if your client wants to have some fun things happen with fades from color to color, things like that, it's very easy to obtain by programming them in with a controller such as the Obey 40 or using programs like Show Express. Another advantage, like I had said earlier about using the Obey 40, is now I have more DMX channels, and now I'll have the ability to control all of my uplighting individually. So by addressing each fixture to correctly respond to the different sections of the controller, I can now control my uplights separately, one at a time, versus having all of them come on at one time. So that gives you the ability to map out multiple colors, do some neat patterns, do some chases, and some other fun things that you can offer your clients, especially for your corporate clients, maybe not so much for weddings, but just to give them some variety and add some excitement to their show. And now we're going to talk about one of the biggest highlights of having the wireless DMX capabilities and having the onboard wireless built into the Freedom Pars and the Freedom Strips, and that is that not only can you control all of your uplighting wirelessly, but then you can come from one of your wireless fixtures with a regular DMX cable and send signal to your dance floor lighting as well, all from one location. So we're going to do a quick changeover, bring out an effects light, and show you how that part works. Okay, now we're back to my final and favorite feature about having the wireless DMX built into the Freedom Pars, is that not only can you send the signal wirelessly using your DFI transmitter out to your Freedom Pars and your Freedom Strips, but you can also take a DMX cable, just like I've done here, come off the back of my last Freedom Par in the chain, and I'm running an effects light here, DMX, off of the chain wirelessly. So what this lets me do is it lets me control not only the dance floor lighting, but also all of my ambient lighting and uplighting around the room wirelessly, all from one controller, which we're going to show you here now. Lights, please. Thank you. So at this point we have some basic things programmed in. You can see where we can grab a hold of our lights and be able to control them, select different colors remotely. But I can also grab our effects light that we have here, and while the Freedom Pars are running or maybe doing their own program, I can be manually controlling my effects light here off of my controller at the same time. So you can see that we've got a rather hypnotic dance floor effect going, changing some colors and all of that. So I'm running the signal to that from our wireless transmitter over here out to all of the Freedom Pars, and then I'm daisy chaining the DMX signal from the output of one of the Freedom Pars and running it to my effects light, which you can then run the rest of your effects lights that are not wireless off of that one through your DMX chain. So hopefully that clears up and gives you guys some great additional technical information on things that you can do with the Freedom Pars and the Freedom Strips as well. As always, you're welcome to contact us if you have any questions, and we do have them in stock ready to ship. I'm Tom from Pro Audio and Lighting. Thanks for watching.